All right, guys. So a distraught Jon Stewart gave us a debate analysis immediately after the Trump-Biden debate ended. Let's dive into it, and we'll break it down as we go here.
Prior to the event, what did the political class believe would be the criteria for each candidate to be successful in the debate? First, Donald Trump.
Trump has to show that he's not going to end democracy.
Don't respond in a way that the suburban mothers wouldn't like.
Don't interrupt Joe Biden.
Don't take the bait. Don't look like a bully.
Don't get angry.
Portray normalness.
By the way, the don't interrupt Biden, I told you guys that one of the things that would help Trump is the way the rules were set up. Your mic gets cut off when it's not your answer time. So even if you were to interrupt, even if you were to talk, nobody could hear you, including the moderators. And what did I say? I told you this is going to help Trump because Trump's biggest flaw the last time he debated Biden in 2020 was that he would keep interrupting and he would be like badgering Biden and it felt mean-spirited. But if you cut off his mic every time it's not his turn to talk, he's going to appear more put together. He's going to appear more reserved. And so, as predicted, it helped Trump. By the way, guess who was most responsible for getting the debate rules as they were? It was the Democrats. It was the Biden team. They wanted the rules like this, and they set the rules up perfectly to make it as bad for Biden as possible. By the way, even having the debate at 9 o'clock at night, I mean, why wouldn't you pick a Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? You could have done that. They didn't do that. This was a failure from the Democrats from the beginning.
Pretend to be normal for 90 minutes. How is that advice for a presidential debate and not what you would say to your parents when you bring home a date for the first time? Can you not talk about January 6th? And please don't do your Asian voice. I really like this girl. But that's Trump. Surely the expectations on President Biden will be higher.
He absolutely cannot have a senior moment, a physical or verbal stumble, him forgetting something.
Any of his kind of freezing moments, stay alert, to stay engaged, and to stay awake.
President Biden has to show that he can stand there for an extended period of time.
Remain upright.
Remain upright.
Remain upright. To be president. You know, I may be mistaken, but I believe those are the same qualifications needed to be scarecrow. Tonight, the president must show the country that he can keep our corn safe. But then it was time for the actual debate, and let's see how it began. Both men came out and, oh, yes, okay. And then, of course, both men are ambulatory. They are both upright. Level 1 cleared. It's going to be an important discussion between two important men. What are the rules?
We want to share the rules of the debate with the audience at home. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer a question and 1 minute each for responses and rebuttals.
What can you do in 2 minutes? I can't even articulate what's wrong with your entire setup to this debate. An ad break to watch a Hulu show is 3 minutes. What can you do in 2 minutes? But all right, well, that's going to winnow out anything that might be interesting or substance. But let's begin. We know the bar that's been set up for each to pass. Biden has to not look old and not have a senior moment. Go.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Oh. Thank you, President Biden. Oh.
That was without a doubt the worst moment, maybe in debate history, what happened there. Right up there with Rick Perry's oops. There's 3 departments that are going away when I get there. It's the Department of Education, the Department of Energy, and what did I can't remember. Oops. This is right up there with that. Because by the way, at the beginning of the answer, he was talking about tax policy. People don't realize that. And he started out good. He's like, this guy wants to cut taxes on the rich. I want to make sure taxes are higher on the rich, but I want to keep taxes low for people who make $400,000 a year or less. This is the stuff he was saying. And then he goes from there to COVID, to brain shitting the bed and saying, we finally beat Medicare. Oh my God.
Need to call a real estate agent in New Zealand. Okay, a high pressure situation. A lot of times you can confuse saving Medicare with beating it. I'm sure it's not something that repeated throughout the debate, causing Democrats across the country to either jump out of windows or vomit silently into the nearest recycling bin. Anybody can talking. How did Biden do not talking?
How close the police are to him. Almost every police group in the nation from every state. And everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody. And China, nothing. And Russia, nothing. And India, nothing. I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago. Because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history.
For everybody just listening podcast style, I'm sure you've seen before a compilation of the faces that he was making throughout the debate. It's almost like he's trying to make the typical, very old, confused man face, right? That it's almost like it's on purpose. That's how over the top it is.
Not great. But a lot of people have resting 25th Amendment face. I'm not a political expert, but while Biden was preparing at Camp David for a week, did anyone mention he would also be on camera? On the split screen? Is there any moment here that can save Biden?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
Oh, shit, we're back, baby! Abortion! A to the B to the O to the R to the T to the repeal of Roe v. Wade. That is Trump's weakest issue.
It's been a great thing.
Oh, he is. It's a great thing. Hit him, Joey.
It's a terrible thing, what you've done.
This is awesome. We are done here. TKO. No. Joe, don't say anything else. Joey.
The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that.
By the way, I was able to decode what he was actually trying to say there. He was trying to say, these psychos don't even believe in abortion if a woman is raped. They want to force that woman to carry a rapist baby. And the point he was trying to make is, so are you okay with forcing an American woman to have the baby of an undocumented immigrant who raped her? That's the point he was trying to make. He was trying to flip Trump's immigration issue, which is a strength for him in the eyes of the American public. He was trying to flip that issue back on Trump and tie it in with the abortion issue and be like, whoa, holy shit, there's a really low-flying helicopter right there, like super low. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, that shit looks like it's about to crash, dog. That was kind of terrifying. I felt the microphone like vibrating. But anyway, he was trying to take Trump's strength and turn it into a weakness and say, are you okay with undocumented immigrants raping women and then you want to force them to have the baby? But he's so old and his brain is working so poorly, he can't put together a complex thought. He can't follow the line of thought that he sets up at the beginning. The line of thought that he sets up at the beginning. He can't do it. And look, every now and then it's okay. Like that happens to anybody every now and then. But the problem is it happened like 8 times in this debate. Like I told you guys, anytime he started listing things, I would always get so much anxiety because I know that by the time he gets to number 2, he's losing it. And then there's no way he's remembering number 3. So when he starts listing, I was like, don't list stuff. You got to keep things short and to the point. No complex thoughts, be punchy. In a funny way, Biden had to act more like Trump because at least that would have made it look like he's still with it more so than he is.
Did you just immigration abortion?
Yes, he did.
Hey, I know abortion is one of our strongest issues, but let me for a moment talk about immigrants killing and raping people. It's one of our weakest. Folks, I think sportsmanship would insist that an opponent not seize on opportunities such as this.
There have been many young women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border.
So how do we do this now? Do I take his car back to the White House tonight? I mean, come on. We done with this shit? Do I just UPS his stuff? I mean, come on. That was crazy what he did just now. So Biden perhaps not on top of his game. maybe I will check out this young upstart, Donald Trump. Obviously, the election is a binary choice. So let me see what this Trump fella is about. As we learned earlier, he just had to come in there and not be an asshole.
He doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all. Probably the worst administration in history. The worst.
I pointed that out during the debate. He doesn't even like the military. What does that mean? I literally don't know what that means. But every president massively increases the military budget. The idea that they don't like the military. And by the way, if you cut the military budget, it's not that you don't like the military. It's that you have other priorities. You don't want us to be a warfare economy. Oh, God.
This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. He challenged me to a golf match.
Oh, that was such a brutal moment. Oh.
He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
Does not appear to have passed the asshole test. See me after debate.
It's true, though. That's true. Even though Biden is like a stumbling, fumbling, bumbling old man, Trump still does look like a colossal asshole. And he did say the wrong thing on Roe v. Wade. He did say the wrong thing on January 6th. He did effectively say, I'm not going to accept the next election if I lose. So it's not like, even though Trump definitely won the debate, it's like, if that was any other Republican up there against Biden, this election would be 100% over. Now it's only 80% over because it's Trump up there against Biden.
All right, Trumper, what do you got on substance?
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. A lot of credit for the military and no wars and so many other things.
Oh,
everything
hate that
was
line.
rocking
Not
good.
true at all.
But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants. We had the lowest taxes ever. I didn't have sex with a porn star.
She was a porn character actor at best. I'm not saying she couldn't open a movie, but... So, just so we're all clear, everything that Donald Trump said in that clip is a lie.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's true. If you just quantitatively break it down, if you just count objectively the things that were said that were false, obviously Trump had way more, right? And this is like the only point that the Democratic propagandists can make is, look, yeah, you're focusing on the style, you're focusing on the stumbling and the bumbling and the fact that Joe Biden is old. Yeah, I mean, we get it, right? We see that. But if you put aside that stuff and just go based off of who's telling the truth and who's lying, Biden tells more truth than Trump does. He still lies because he's Joe Biden, but he tells more truth than Trump does. And that's the best that these guys can come up with, right? It's the like Harry Sisson line and who are the other, Democratic Party propagandists. It's as good as they could do, man. That's as good as they could do. Again, it's still true to this day. The first one to ditch one of these candidates is the one who's going to win, But unfortunately, it looks like we're still heading towards an election where it's both of these characters. There's a chance Biden eventually steps aside, but right now it's a minority percentage for sure. So anyway, there's Jon Stewart. Relatively distraught by the debate and just absolutely savage in raking them across the coals.
Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.